Hey, welcome back to The Irrational, hold on. Let me turn this down, and hey, welcome back to The Irrational, the podcast where we discuss various pieces of media and the fears that they've instilled in us. You might notice I'm on hold right now. Sorry for that. What happened, so I had some friends over for a 4th of July barbecue, and we were having a good time, and then my buddy, he found this, old bookshelf full of books, and he started reading this book, and it was, I don't even know, it sounded like Latin, it was some weird dead language, I don't know, and then, suddenly he just froze, and then we heard this terrible noise off in the forest, and then this thing, I guess it was a bear, It had to, I don't know what else it could have been, but a bear attacked, I guess. A very large, powerful bear. But it attacked, and everyone went running in different directions, and oh boy, did it do a number on the cabin. So I'm trying to get in touch with my insurance agent to see if my renter's insurance covers this, because I can't live like this. It's basically a pile of lumber at this point. Oh well, I'm sure I've got good coverage. I'm sure I'll be fine. But yeah, sorry for the delay. I'm just trying to clean things up. But yeah, I still got the episode out. So here we go. So this week's guest is my good friend Kevin White. He's a very fun dude. He's a comedian working here in Chicago. Real silly guy. You're gonna enjoy him. We discuss his fear of cats and where that stems from, and we make a few discoveries along the way. And like usual, plugs at the end of the episode, so without further ado, Kevin White. Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome. I'm glad to be back in your apartment one last time.
Talking to Kevin White. Oh,
last time
Kevin was on my first and only recording of...
Yeah, I didn't know I was the only one.
I never recorded another episode.
Because that one went so well.
I thought, well, I mean, we had a good time.
It was.
But
I think we got a little
drunk.
And
I think it would have been good if I had the energy to... I had a lot of hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
It was the podcast, for everyone that's wondering what the fuck we're talking about, is I had an idea for a podcast called Octopus in a Neighborhood, where I have various comedians watch an episode of The Magic School Bus, and then we get together to discuss it. I don't know why. I just love Magic School Bus a lot, so I thought that'd be fun.
Specifically the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show. Wait, is there a movie? There is a book. It would be fun to make him read a book too, but comedians don't like to read.
Yeah.
As we've discussed. But that just fell apart because it was so much editing, because I had all these ideas of and then I'll cut in the audio clips, and then I just was fuck it.
It was such a specific thing to do a podcast about. And you asked me pick an episode and we'll watch it, or we watch the first. I don't know if you were doing it in order.
Yeah, it was the first episode.
All right, so I watched an episode of The Magic School Bus. I made some notes.
Yeah, you came prepared.
Seriously. I showed up with jokes ready about certain scenes, and it never came out. And you never made another episode. And that was the last time I've been in your apartment. And then you're moving soon.
So this is probably...
I made a... Well, yeah, this will be the last time. I had mentioned... Oh, I've never done your new podcast.
Or actually what you said is, hey, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, that sounds more like me. And I... And so I was like, all right, tomorrow. So unlike last time, no preparation has been done.
None. That's fine.
That's why before
capable.
Recording, we were spending 20 minutes talking about Stephen King
and his children,
because we didn't know what we were talking about. Anyway, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time out of your life to do a podcast that never came out.
Thanks for establishing a new podcast and make sure the wheels are really greased before you had me on again.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time this time. It is funny, though, that you were like, it was such a specific podcast to have people do, when so is fears that came from a piece of media. This is also very specific and difficult to book.
The fact that it needs to be from a piece of media.
Yeah.
We can talk about fears all day. You and I share several fears, which we'll probably get into in a minute. But it's not as specific as a TV show that ran for a season and a half or whatever.
That's true. I guess that's true. I just loved Magic School Bus. I also liked that there was an end date.
Yeah.
so I could just finish the whole show.
That was
and
it.
then like
It's a mini series, but a podcast.
exactly. But then I got lazy real fast.
Yeah, but we do share a lot of fears. We've talked a lot about anxiety and stuff. We became friends because I was on Terrified.
Yeah.
And you related to it in such a way that you felt comfortable coming up to me and talking to me about anxiety that we share.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, you had admitted that you thought I was like too like arrogant or confident to have any sort of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, man, I freak out all the time. And since then, that's the foundation of our friendship.
Yeah, I'd
is
say
fear.
So. Is
Mutual fear.
Yeah.
We just wear it differently.
I would never, if you had asked me that yesterday, I wouldn't have said that. But now that you pointed out, of course, that's it.
The foundation of our friendship?
I'm saying I didn't realize that that's how we really got to know each other. But yeah, we would always just talk about,
that was the
our first 5 conversations were about our social anxieties and relating to one another.
Yeah, aside from seeing you around, be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, that's what's his name? you know what I mean? No, but you you walked right up to me and you were like, hey, I listen, you're Terrified, and we had like a good talk about it. Yeah, and that was it.
I miss Terrified.
Yeah, they're done.
Up.
Yeah,
I get it though. You get busy.
Well, not even that. It's just if you listen to all those episodes, I mean, you can only there's like a handful of fundamental fears that people have.
Sure.
Nobody likes me.
Yeah.
Nobody takes me seriously.
It's just the same comics or different comics having
failure.
the same conversation.
Kind of. Yeah. So Dave was just really burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
And that kind of weighs on you. Even just this podcast, which is pretty silly, I have like taken in people's anxieties that I haven't even like seen the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So at the end of this one, I'm going to be afraid of cats.
I think he was probably also pretty bummed about just being. I know me personally because Dave is the same way, where the first time we talked was because I was feeling anxious or something about something, and we just started going.
Yeah.
And he was like, you should do my podcast.
Great impression.
He's real
gravelly.
Right here. So like our first couple interactions was like a therapist kind of relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, can you imagine? Like even your friends are doing that. Like,
yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see people, and that's now that has a popular podcast. People hear it, then they get that.
Yes.
What's it called? Where you like think that you know someone when they don't know you.
Exactly.
And then they come up to him and they're
do
like, "I'm gonna unload on you." And
Yes.
he's just like, "Oh, cool."
Happens to him all the time.
Sometimes I want to have fun.
Yeah, and you want to be nice. So, hey, your episode with blah 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 really helped me. Like, oh, that's so cool. I'm glad I could help. But at the end of the day, don't you just want to have like a normal conversation with somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
man, it's gotta suck to help people.
No more of that.
No, I'm a huge dick.
Yeah.
But Kevin,
that's what you're known. That's what you're known for around the town.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like the asshole of the
That's
scene.
why I'm leaving. That's because everyone thinks
you burned every bridge you got.
Yeah, they're like, get the fuck out of here, Charlie. You're such a dick.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Cat's Eye. You saw this movie.
I don't know if I saw this movie.
You don't know if you saw this movie. It might have been. Well, no, because like when you said some weird movie where a cat kills people.
I'll tell you what it is, and I think it's Cat's Eye. I hate cats.
Sure.
I'm better now. Now I just think they're kind of annoying. I think they're assholes. Okay. I mean, that is the stereotype. Cats are assholes. Yeah, they don't need you. Okay, cool. That's fine. I used to be, and I mean well into my 20s, worried at all times a cat will like run up and bite me for no reason. Because I know they're like unpredictable in a way where they'll just like walk out of the room when you try to like call them over.
Sure.
Or just sit there and stare at you. But I had it in my head that like cats are going to hurt me for some reason. Okay? And I think it's like a mix of some childhood. Maybe I got scratched here or there. But I very vividly remember there being a movie on TV. And I think it's this movie Cat's Eye by Stephen King. And there's a scene where like an old woman is sleeping. And she's like 90. She's like 1 billion years old. And this cat comes up and sits on her chest. And you know how cats always like sit on your chest and like make biscuits? You know what I mean? They're always like...
Did you say make biscuits?
Yeah, I'm doing the paw thing.
Oh, the kneading of the paw. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're making biscuits.
I thought you were
saying
making
biscuits,
the sound was making biscuits. And I was like, what biscuits are you fucking making? I get it. Yeah, they're kneading bread.
Right.
Or
Well,
boobs
the
in this case.
cat jumps up in that like part of your chest,
Mhm.
and then it moves forward and it puts its paws over this woman's nose and mouth, and suffocates her in her sleep. And I remember when I was a kid being like, "Oh, cats will try to kill you."
Yeah.
And for some reason, aside from I still think they're assholes, there is also some deep-rooted fear that they're going to hurt you. I've been bit by dogs, and dogs don't like big dogs. If a dog's like I like a small dog, so if it's being annoying, I can just like pick it up, put it in the bathroom, and shut the door.
Move it away from you.
But I also think big dogs, unless they're like gnarling at you, are like, he's just a big dumb idiot.
Right.
You know, trying to be friendly. There's a chance it'll overpower you. It's got a strong jaw, but for the most part. Whereas cats, which are pretty dismissive, I don't know why, man. I just got it in my head that
is funny.
Gonna run up and bite you or scratch you, or I don't know.
Because I've experienced one cat in my life that would seek you out to be a dick.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's cats. You kind of have to fuck with them or even pet them very kindly, and then that's when they. But like usually, if you don't invade their space, they're fine.
Yeah.
So that is an odd fear to, and you just
I was real little. That's the only part of the movie I recall.
Yeah. See, so when you said it, I thought of this scene, and just a quick Google proves that I was actually somehow right.
You've seen this movie?
I haven't seen Cat's Eye.
Okay.
But Cat's Eye does come up. The movie I'm talking about is Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh.
Maybe
it
like
was this.
It's a handful of stories, but in Tales from the Dark Side, it doesn't use its paws. It like grabs onto the person's head and wraps its stomach is suffocating them.
Maybe. I mean, I was really little.
I saw
Click
this
it.
really little
Can
too.
we check it out? Should we hold for editing in case you need to cut it?
Oh God, is this a?
Look at this. Look at this. That's totally something a cat would do. This is it.
Is this the scene?
Oh my God, I haven't seen this since I was like 4 years old. This is it. This is the scene.
This is the exact scene. I'm
yes,
so glad.
Yes.
It
Look!
does use its paw. Oh, and then it climbs over.
Oh my God, dude.
That's so funny. This scene stuck with me too. I don't remember much from this story because the Tales from the Dark Side is like 4 or 5 different stories. I remember most of them, but I don't remember anything from this fucking cat story.
For the record, okay, so we just figured out it's not Stephen King's Cat's Eye. It's Tales from the Dark Side. And what's that short story? Tales from the Dark Side, do you know?
Yeah. Shit, I lost
so that scene, that was so crazy. You just showed it, and it evoked something in
fear?
me.
And now you're scared of cats again?
No, I mean, not like it freaked me out, like I'm afraid, but it definitely reminded me of, I don't know, made me like a little anxious.
Gave you that chill up your spine that you used to have as a child?
No, it kind of made me more of like a, see, I told you cats are evil, as if that was a documentary clip we just watched. Yeah, see, I'm not crazy. See, you're all crazy, but nobody believed me.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, that scene stuck with me as a kid too.
That's so great memory, dude. This cat's going to town in like this old folks home, and it's tripping old people down the stairs and suffocating them in their sleep and biting them, and yeah, that's funny. When you asked me to do this podcast, I was like, I don't think I have a fear that goes with a piece of media.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a 5-second clip of some like old movie or something I saw when I was a kid, and then you look it up, and the first clip that comes up, this cat is just going ham on these fucking old people. It killed like 4 people in like 2 minutes.
But let me tell you though, that's definitely not the only cat killing a person scene that I have in my memory banks. That's the main one. When you said it, that was the first one I thought of. No, I can't even. It's just cats suffocating people in movies as if that's like a thing. Because I guess back then it was.
Are you sure that you've seen that more than once, or were you affected the way I am?
No. Oh no, I've definitely seen it more than once. Probably only like 2 or 3 times. But there is.
How many murderous dogs can you think of? Cujo, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's man's best friend.
Fuck yeah.
See? I wasn't wrong. Cats are assholes, not just in a dismissive way.
Well, because people think. Because first off, people think cats are assholes. But then also there is like a bunch of folklore behind cats, like with black cats and stuff.
Yeah.
But then
that's a good point. They're also bad luck.
The cats taking people's breath, like that's actually a thing. Like they would way back when they would be like, you can't have a cat if you have a baby because the cat will lay down next to the baby and take its breath. not suffocate it, but it like breathes.
Yeah.
And it I have no
Suck
idea
its
where I have
soul
this
out.
knowledge from. This is just in my
Remember that video game? What was that PlayStation game?
what?
You're like a vampire and you're like green and you're like wearing rags and you suck people's souls out of their mouths.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be more interesting if I knew.
It's like that, but a cat.
And it just lies down and does it very calmly next to a baby.
Oh God.
See,
Yeah.
you seem all worked up now that you saw that clip.
I'm glad that there is because I've tried to explain that scene to somebody and they hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So for me to show up and you know exactly what I'm talking about is exciting.
That is very funny because in my head I was like, I feel like it's from this shitty movie I saw as a teenager, and it turns out that's the exact fucking scene.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I very vividly remember that one part of the cat's paw going on the woman's mouth.
That was a funny detail because it is like, why would it use its paw? But yeah, so how do you feel now? It stirred a little bit inside you?
I feel validated.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's a scary scene to see as a child.
I feel like that movie wasn't entirely fiction. I feel
Okay.
like some people were harmed in the making of it.
Okay. I feel like more cats were probably harmed in the making of that than
No.
actual human beings. You think
No.
they were just killing old people on the set?
They have 9 lives.
Yeah.
How many do you have? You have one.
as far
One
as I
life to
know.
live. That's right. And that cat's just going around taking away your one precious life, stealing baby's breath.
How old were you when you saw this?
It's such a vague memory. I think I was probably 4.
Oh yeah, sure. One of those memories where it's like, was it a dream though?
Well, one of those memories that's just so. Why do I only remember that 5 seconds or so of the cat putting its paw in the lady's mouth, but I don't remember like the rest of the thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Because it scarred you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Plus, you'd hear stories of like, you go over to grandma's house and it's like, don't pet the cat, she'll scratch you, and
Right.
it's like, oh, okay. So that cat's trying to hurt me. Got
Yeah.
it.
So you just
Or
have
so-and-so.
an animal in your house that wants to cause harm to people.
Yeah. See, I
Cool.
grew up with a dog.
Yeah.
Not a cat. So it was kind of like this foreign creature
Yeah.
that I was told, like, my buddy got a scratch on his face that was pretty bad. Like, what happened? And it's like, oh, well, the litter box is in the bathroom, and I was in there taking a shit, and the cat ran in and scratched me because I couldn't get to the litter box, and almost hit my eye. I could have been blinded.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are these fucking animals you guys are keeping?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a dog? It's cool. It's
That-
sniffing
'cause
its
you-
crotch. It's my crotch all day.
Because sure, there are violent dogs, but I feel like with dogs, you get a dog, and it's a blank slate, and you raise it.
Yeah.
It's either raised like
It's like a
poorly or it's
Pokemon.
raised good. Yeah. But you can like
When-
a dog
by
can
which
be
I
a
mean you-
shitty
you-
dog because you're not training it right.
By which I mean you train it to fight. Yeah, exactly. You train dogs to fight.
And then a cat, it's a fucking gamble.
You don't know what you're getting.
You get it from like a kitten, and you raise it, and it could still grow
It's
up
like
to
a kid.
hate you.
Like if
It
it's
is like a
your
kid.
like a dog is like your actual kid and a cat's like adopted.
Yeah.
It could never love you.
I feel like the dog is more like the dog is nothing in this scenario. The cat is like a kid in that some kids just grow up to be shitty and hate their parents, even though their parents are great. You know?
Dogs are like 4 or 5-year-olds. Cats are like teenagers.
Okay, yeah, and dogs stay 4 or 5 forever in their
Mhm.
brain, but cats get pissy, and then they calm down at the end of their lives.
Sometimes
who
do
knows?
they? I don't know.
I've known a handful that were like 5 years later.
Yeah,
They're like, oh no, he's really sweet now, and it doesn't make any sense.
just hangs out under the porch waiting to die.
Exactly.
Mostly.
Realizes it's gonna die, and it's like, well, I'm too tired to bite people now. Hopefully, this thing will kill me soon, so then they don't bite it to scare it away.
So you're not a cat guy either, then?
No, I love them.
Oh,
I really
okay.
do. I just also acknowledge that they're kind of a wild card.
Do you prefer cats or dogs?
I prefer dogs,
Yeah. Okay.
but I'm not like a one or the other guy. I really love cats as well. I love all animals.
There have been a couple cats that I love.
Yeah.
Okay, love. That I like.
I was gonna say you
And
seemed embarrassed to say love about.
It's
cat.
only because they act like a dog.
Right.
They come up, they're real cuddly, they want you to pet it. I don't like a dismissive cat.
Yeah.
I don't like a moody cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
don't get a cat.
Oh, I don't plan on it. For sure.
So, I mean, how often does this come up in life? Like, you're not running into cats constantly. I love them, and I don't see 'em all
Feral
that
cats
often.
on the streets of Chicago.
I guess
My
that's-
roommate has a cat.
Oh yeah.
and it's the most socially awkward. It's definitely a rescue,
Okay.
and it almost frustrates me because it's too out of my way.
Yeah.
Like, I try to warm up to it, and if I put my hand out, it'll run out of the room.
Right.
It's afraid of everybody but my roommate.
Yeah.
And that at least I can live with it. It meows a lot because it wants like to be petted or something. Like if she's not around, it'll meow, but it won't let me pet it. So it's like, pet me, pet me, pet me, and I'm like, all right. And it's like, not you. Yeah.
No, I need her hands.
Yeah, exactly. So that's annoying, but it doesn't make me ill at ease.
Sure. Because you know that worst case scenario, it's going to run from you. Unless you corner it and then you kind of deserve it if you're trying to bully this cat.
The first girlfriend I lived with had 2 cats. One was great, and the other one was one of those asshole cats.
Sure.
And so I was so stressed out, she wound up giving the asshole cat to her mom to take care of. It was just too much. It was just too much of oh God, can you? I don't I was so afraid. I was such a pussy about this cat. It was a pun. I looking back, it bit me awake one time.
Whoa.
I was asleep. And sometimes it would come
seeking
up.
you out to be me. That's the exact cat that you were
that's
afraid
what I'm
of.
Yes.
When you said
it looked like the one in the movie. It was
said,
black.
I see a cat, I'm scared it's going to run up on me and bite me. I was like, well, no cats do that. And then you
this
had
one,
a cat that's
I'm
find
telling
you to hurt you.
I was asleep, just like this poor innocent woman in this film.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it would to my girlfriend, it would get right up in your face and purr a bit, and so this one time it did that to me, but instead of purring or nuzzling, it just bit my cheek.
Oh my God.
And then I sprung up. That will wake you up, by the way. No, that's the best alarm.
Yeah, that's 0 to 60.
Standing, you're in a kung fu stance. Yeah, you're going, right? So, but I remember dude, I remember, okay, this same cat, all this stuff's coming back to me. She wasn't at home. I just done laundry. I set the fresh clothes in the bedroom. I go to the kitchen or to the bathroom or something. I come back, and the cat is in the laundry basket peeing all over the clothes I just cleaned. So I was like, fuck, no, what do I do? God. If I pick it up, it's going to just spray piss all over the wall.
Yeah,
so
and while biting you.
Yeah. So I'll go, anytime I try to pet it, it would try to bite me and stuff. So I was like, grab the water bottle, right? So I run.
Oh, like a mister.
I grab the water. No, like one of those jet.
Right.
Yeah, it's a water bottle. And I run in, and you already said this, I didn't know this. It was on mist. So I'm an inch away from its head, just spraying it like crazy, you motherfucker, because I'm so mad. But it's just staring at me in this beautiful mist. Yeah. Just this is pleasant. It was doing nothing. I was too mad to fix it and so it just finished peeing. Funny. By the time I got the nozzle working, it was already done.
People say cats are assholes because they are dismissive or because they occasionally knock things off. This cat is an asshole.
This cat hated me, and I hated it.
He sought you out.
Animals do have emotions. Yeah. Maybe it was territorial of my lady.
Funny.
I don't know.
But you won in the end because the cat got gone. Sounds like they killed the cat. I don't know why I said it like that. The cat got gone.
And that's why we broke up. I won.
Hooray.
You made me get rid of my cat.
Did you know if she took the cat back after you guys broke up?
I'm sure she did, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta do it. I said you gotta do it.
Yeah, you got to. Might as well.
I wonder if it, do you think it just hated men, or it hated anyone that wasn't her, or it hated you because you were taking her?
It was one of those things. I remember when we first started dating, she said that thing of sometimes women will use their cats as a personality test for potential boyfriends. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, she doesn't like anyone, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it never did.
Yeah. It never liked you.
It never really warmed up.
So that personality test, did she not trust it because she stuck with you?
I think it was supposed to be funny.
Okay. I don't know. I thought maybe some people take that shit seriously.
Yeah. They're called lonely.
Yeah, because if she did take it seriously, she probably would never find anyone because that cat sounds like it just
Cat's
hates.
a piece of shit. Yeah.
It's a real hate-filled cat.
I'm fine now, and I'm just
So nowadays, if you see a cat
dismissive.
in the street running by, you're not afraid of it.
No. I just, and not like, we're not talking like phobia afraid here, right?
Right.
But I was just, yeah. You know what? I don't know why I'm trying to clarify. Yeah, I was afraid it would bite me for no reason. And I have been bitten for no reason.
Yeah.
And I've seen cats murder people in popular media.
I don't know that this movie was all that popular. I think it is. I think it's a cult secret, like, because if you bring it up to people, people are like, "Oh yeah, I saw that movie."
Yeah.
But it's so bad.
It was one of those
It's like
things.
a Tales from the Crypt knockoff,
It was one of those.
or maybe Tales from the Crypt came from Darkside. I don't know.
It was one of those. You're homesick on from school,
Yeah.
and it's like always on
Yeah.
kind of things.
Right.
I think. Yeah.
It was like exciting and scary enough.
This
but
was
not
back
too scary
when-
to be on television.
This is back when a handful of people like us didn't have cable. Not
Yeah.
everybody had cable. There were only a handful of channels,
Yeah.
so you just kind of watch what's on.
Oh yeah.
God, I wish I could still do that. I'll spend an hour scrolling through Netflix trying to find the perfect movie for me that night.
Yep.
What happened to just, let's see what's on?
Yep.
I
I say that all the time. I tell this story. I don't think I've ever told it on the podcast. I miss cable. Like, I miss not having immediate access and choices, because one time, my best friend and I, we wake up, we're hungover. He goes in the basement, turns on my TV. I walk downstairs, and he turned on a show called Extreme Log Cabins.
Yeah, love it.
And we sat down
I'm
and
into
watched it for an hour without even talking to one another, just watched the entire program. And at the
Yeah.
end, he was like, "Oh, what do you want to do now?" And then it's like, coming up next, Extreme Houseboats. And we're like, fuck yeah.
Whoa!
You never have that, because I'm not going to Google Extreme Log Cabins.
Yeah,
and
now you
watch
scroll
that.
past it, you're like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will save those
It's-
things on Netflix, and then I'll never watch them. Because
Yeah.
even though I'm like, I know I'd be interested in this silly show, I just don't turn it on.
It's amazing how limiting having choices is.
Yeah. Choices suck.
I mean, yeah, because you're only going to watch what you know you like. So you don't get to experience things outside your...
Yep.
I don't
Go
want to
back-
say comfort zone. Log cabins seem pretty comfy. But,
Yeah. But it's still a new thing that you're like...
Like, would you have ever watched Bob Ross if it were today? You'd be
No.
like, this guy painting? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I wouldn't
However-
have chosen to watch that.
Everyone our age loves Bob Ross
Right.
because they found it by accident and there was nothing else on,
Mhm.
and there's something quietly pleasant about the man, and it does. There is kind of that thing of that was like little kid like meditation
Yeah.
yoga in a way. We're like, I'm just gonna watch this guy paint this painting.
Yeah. Because
And I'm not-
the first time you see it, you're like, "What's this?" And then you watch it
Huh.
for 30 seconds, and then 5 minutes later, you're like, Why am I watching
There's something
this?
magnetic about the man,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
But if you're scrolling through
Which
and
is
you
a real-
see the Happy Trees thing,
You're like, this is
you're
dumb.
never going to
Of
click on it
course.
without prior knowledge of the show.
What a testament to that man's, whatever it is about him, his magnetism,
Yeah.
something about him. He makes painting so interesting and appealing.
Yeah.
However, if I tried to explain, dude, you got to watch his show. It's this guy,
To someone
he's
who's never
painting.
seen Bob Ross or heard of him.
he's painting, and it is so soothing. You're going to be like, we're no longer friends.
Because it's so
Why don't you
soothing,
like cool
but it's
shit?
also very entertaining because it's like, how can he paint so well so quickly? He
It
does
is.
It's effortless.
It's how many times do you think he had to do a painting before it was ready for air?
So what he did is he'd paint them.
Time
He'd
out.
take his
How do you
time.
know this?
I was on your podcast, Arguments and Grievances, and I argued for him.
Oh, yeah, you did.
But
you
I
did.
also knew this stuff before that.
Bob Ross versus...
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
And Sonia wiped the floor with me.
Yeah. Okay,
Which
go on.
She should, because I think I have said this on the podcast before. About 2 minutes into the debate, realized that I was debating for real, and I wasn't being funny at all. I was just being passionate about Bob Ross.
You'd be surprised how often that happens.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
That's what Brody
It is
said.
a vehicle for jokes.
Yeah, you just want jokes, but then
That's
when
all
you
it
sit
is.
down and you write, you don't write jokes. You just write a debate, and then it's like, fuck, I didn't.
That's why we
This isn't
started
funny at all.
assigning topics. Is we found when we let people pick their own topic, they'll pick something they love.
They're too passionate about.
Yeah, like I had to debate Monty Python versus Monty Burns one time.
Okay.
And I love The Simpsons too much, where I couldn't distance myself from it. I was just like, it's the greatest show ever. What do you mean? How can you even compare Monty Python to the best show of all time?
Yeah.
All right. My opponent had a lot of jokes, but I know I'm right. Like, it's hard.
Trust me.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Even
Which
defending
I
your...
should have lost Mr. Rogers versus Bob Ross, I wasn't surprised that I lost. I just was pissed that I lost so badly because I was like, I could have done better if I had just thought about
Well,
this.
come redeem yourself.
I plan on it. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I should. No, I probably won't get in before the month is out. We don't need to have this conversation on mic.
Oh, okay.
Well,
if anybody out there wants to book me, just holler.
Yeah, book Kevin.
Oh,
White.
I do want to hear what Bob Ross does, though.
Oh, so he paints the picture first, and then it's off screen, and then he uses that as like he just looks at the painting and then like paints, and with the memory of how he painted it the first time.
Does he have a off camera? So the one off camera, is he looking at it and recreating it?
Yeah, it's not perfectly, but it's a frame of reference. So like when he turns and he's just like, I'm gonna put a tree here, and he just whips it on real quick. It's not him just like he already has the composition figured out. So him painting it quickly is still extremely impressive because he's still doing all that shit quickly. The only thing that he has mapped out is the composition of the painting. Because if you put a tree in the wrong place, it could fuck the whole. It's not pretty anymore. You know what I mean?
So it'll take his time with the first one.
Yeah.
And his muscle memory kind of kicks in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real weird. So there's duplicates of every painting he's ever done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, he's a really interesting dude.
Wasn't he in the military or something?
He was. He was in the military. He was like a higher up, so he would scream at like insubordinates. Hated it so much that he decided to never scream again.
He turned hippie.
And that's when he went hippie.
He went hippie. That's right.
He was like, I'm never screaming. I'm never going to raise my voice again in my entire life.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. You
Tune
can
in next week for Bob Ross talk.
If you take off the afro and the beard and stuff, you can kind of see he's kind of a big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is large. He's just so soothing that you don't realize how large of a man he is.
Yeah.
Not like large, but like he's just like he's a man. He's like a.
Is he still alive?
No, I think he passed. I'm not gonna Google that. I don't know why I keep going.
What a
to Google
bummer
this stuff.
that would be. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But I wonder. Yeah, because somebody would have done a fucking. He'd be like Bill Nye, where everybody's like, "Hey, let's get Bob Ross to chime in on this."
Yeah.
Not like
but you
wrong.
also
I mean,
heard.
Bill Nye's a certified genius, and his opinion should be heard. But I also know that people want to hear from Bill Nye because they're the one scientist that they know.
Right.
Because he had a TV show.
Because we're 90s kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is funny how brilliant he is, and he is pop culture famous.
Yeah. I was actually I was thinking about that the other day. Like, man, that dude is like famous. I mean, he's famous as a personality.
Right.
Because we were kids. But he's also famous as a scientist, which isn't something. Those two words, famous scientist, rarely come together.
Right. Like, unless you are a scientist, you don't know what famous. Like, I know Neil deGrasse Tyson
and Bill Nye, and that's it.
I couldn't name another one.
Aside from doing something like First Man on the Moon, or discovering penicillin,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who did that.
Yeah,
I'm
just as a personality scientist. That's amazing.
It's very interesting. But he's, I don't know, charming and weird.
Anyway,
how did we get this deep into this?
I don't know. What is this? This is supposed to be about fear?
Talking about your cats.
Fucking cats.
Cats, man.
But Bill Nye, dog guy, for sure.
Bill Nye's a dog guy.
For sure.
I'd put money on that. No, I wouldn't. I don't have money.
No.
Have you ever seen the movie Let the Right One In?
Hold on. Yeah, the vampire movie.
Do you remember the
Swedish
scene
vampire movie
where that woman gets turned and she doesn't know that she's turned yet?
Okay.
And then she goes into this house full of cats.
That sounds awful.
And they just go bonkers because apparently cats hate vampires in this universe.
They can tell when you're a vampire.
Yeah. And they start hissing and stuff.
Yeah.
Because cats, the nicest cat can go from calm to scary. Like, I'm a dog walker, and I have dogs growl at me, and I'll just be like, shut up. And, like, just be like, I'm going to put this leash on you. I'm not afraid of you. Mm-hmm. But cats, they're too agile. Like, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't stand a chance.
They're unpredictable.
A dog, I know that if I'm prepared, I can grab a dog, like, on his, like, cheeks or neck or something and prevent his jaw from getting to me. But a cat, I don't know if I'm fast enough.
Okay, this is funny. Who would win in a fight, you or a cat? And you think a cat
win?
I don't know. If
I would win, but a cat would get in a lot of scratches and bites before I won. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I think this is not meant to sound sexist, Well, no, we can all agree the old adage of like men are like dogs and women are like cats, and that's why men like dogs and a lot of women like cats, right? Like that's like a pretty common thing, right?
Okay, I've never heard it, but
You've never heard
I don't think
really?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Really? You've
I'm also
never
very out of touch,
seen any
though.
comedy in the 80s or
No.
well,
I'm
there's
out
a
of touch,
lot
dude,
of
I'm telling you.
well, it's a pretty common thing. It's
Yeah.
of course not necessarily true, but let's say 51% of men prefer dogs over cats, and
Right.
the opposite is true. Women, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea. Maybe men and women fight like their appropriate animal as well. Like men
Fighting
are
like
like
cats and
a
dogs.
lot of barking, maybe not a lot of bite, and then when
Yeah.
there is some bite, it's kind of like a pretty straightforward, like you know what's gonna happen. Whereas women, you see women fight, it's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. They're just clawing and like pulling hair, and it's like, you know, you could say like, oh, like it's like their lack of like I think guys like they'll still see like boxing or UFC and be like, oh, that's how you fight. Whereas
Yeah.
women are like, I'm fucking this bitch up no matter what, no rules, anything goes, wild punches and
Yeah.
like.
And that is funny because men also, there's a lot of
That's
what's
how cats are. They're like,
posturing. Posturing, is that the
yeah,
right word?
yes,
And dogs will bark a whole bunch.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
before they fight. But also, I feel like men, when dogs finally do get to the actual fight,
Mm-hmm.
they want to kill the other thing,
Yeah.
and that's also dumb. Whereas cats, they kind of they go nuts and then they walk away from each other real quickly.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, weird.
Do you want to Google
Men
some?
are dumb.
You want to YouTube some?
Cat fights?
Girls
Certainly
fighting?
not not actual human women nor cats. I don't
Why
wanna
not?
see. I don't want to watch.
That'll
these
be fun.
videos.
Have you ever seen a giraffes fight? It's the funniest thing
It's
I've
the
ever seen in my
scariest-
life.
It's so scary.
It's so
I'm
funny.
So worried they're
They
gonna
just stand next to each other and
snap.
headbutt each other.
Oh god! Not even headbutt. They whack each other with their necks.
Yeah, they use like a
It's
pendulum.
so
Their head like
scary.
a whack.
Also weird. Hummingbirds fighting.
Ooh,
Crazy territorial birds.
I want to see that.
They just run into each other. Because like a different bird, it's like they claw and they
Yeah.
scratch. Hummingbirds literally just collide into each other
Just
over and over.
thump,
It's so
and then
fucking
they
weird.
go back.
Because that's all they
thump.
have.
Yeah,
They don't have claws and shit.
I want to see
They're tiny little
seahorses fight.
Seahorses. I can't imagine they fight. They're so
I
peaceful.
want to see what it's like.
They're real sweethearts.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, well, my battery's dying.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just stop there then.
Yeah. Was there anything like you're okay with cats now?
Yeah,
There was
that's
this
fine.
weird, scary thing. I'm gonna put the audio from the trailer for Tales from the Dark Side,
So it's such a
or maybe
bummer.
just the audio from that scene. I don't know. But anything else you wanted to cover with?
No. I think I'm gonna go hang out with some nice, friendly dogs now.
Yeah. Really
Get
calm
myself in a
down.
good headspace.
I don't feel like I've taken any anxieties from your. I don't think I've taken this fear. Like I
I
said,
think
like I've done this with
I'm
previous
not-
guests where I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, now I'm afraid of.
Well, I'm not
varicose veins.
actively afraid of it, so maybe I'm not trying to convince you of it.
Sure.
If
Yeah,
we
I
did,
guess that's
if we
true,
did
'cause you have
flying,
worked your
dude,
way
if
out
we
of
did
it.
flying, I guarantee I can convince you to hate
I'll have you
flying.
back on in the future. I
Yeah.
mean, you're moving to the same city I'm moving to, so
Yeah, I hate flying more than cats. I just wanted to think of something a little less obvious.
yeah,
You know,
we'll get to flying.
we'll get there. I'm sure you can have a couple people on with flying.
Yeah, tune in for part 2 with Kevin White.
Heyo.
Fear of flying. I'm plugging an episode that I have no idea when it'll come out. I don't know why I'm doing
When I
that.
get to New York,
So Kevin,
that'll be my welcome to New York.
that would be, and it'd be nice to have friends. I'm so worried that I'm going to run out of people to talk to in New York. I
Nah,
have all these
baby.
friends. I have all these friends in Chicago that I could hit
That's-
up to record.
That's my main motivation for moving. I worry about you, kid.
Too many friends.
Can't
oh, you're
leave you-
moving to save me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
can't.
works.
Can't leave you up there.
What a sweetheart. I am a delicate boy in a big city. I need all the friends I get. So Kevin, where can people find you?
KevinWhiteIsNotFunny.com,
It's great.
at KSilly on Twitter, White Kevin White on Instagram, or Arguments and Grievances.
Yeah, that's monthly, right?
It's we're coming back in August.
Coming back in August
August
at Shuba's
7th.
Tavern in Chicago.
No, at North. We changed venues.
At North.
Took a
Oh.
break.
We'll do an edit point.
No, it's fine.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That's a great show. It's a great live show for one. It's really fun to attend live. I really recommend it if you are in Chicago.
Thank you. And I'll taking it to New York with me too.
If you, oh yeah, well we'll see. Follow Kevin on Twitter to get those updates.
Yeah, that's down the line a bit.
But either way, if you are in the city that it is currently running, you should check out that show. It's so fun to attend live.
Thanks.
But if you can't attend it live, be sure to look up their podcast, just Arguments and Grievances podcast.
Yeah.
It's also fun. As always, you can find me on Twitter at CharlieRoar, ROHRER. You can also find me on Tumblr at hearmeroar.tumblr.com. Once again, ROHRER for the roar in that. Kevin, thank you so much for doing my podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, buddy.